I am going to play a video for you from Fox News that makes it very clear. Fox News is positioning itself to hit the abort button on supporting Donald Trump. They're getting ready to dump Trump and support Ron DeSantis in 2024, but they're leaving themselves an open window to support Trump if Trump is the nominee. So if you were doubting that Fox News would rather Trump not be the nominee, check out this deliberately edited man on the street type segment where Fox News reporters went out and they were talking to random Trump voters. And the question was, do you want Trump to run again or not? And of course, they could have crafted this in any way that they want. You can just keep interviewing people until you get the clips that you want. They selected mostly random Trump voters who don't want Trump running in 2024. It is very clear that Fox News is setting themselves up to abort the Trump train. Take a look at this.
I don't want him to. I like what he stands for. I like what he does, but he upset too many people, and he upset them really bad. So I don't think he's good for the party.
He needs to get back in. That he already had gained that respect from all the world leaders and finish what he, started.
By the way, that's the random Trump supporter in there. He gained respect from world leaders. World leaders were laughing at him literally, both behind his back and sometimes to his face. Behind his back at a number of different summits, to his face at that wacky UN speech where the room just started laughing at Trump. Respect.
It's too bad that he did what he did do and was fought the whole way along on darn near everything that he did, but that's what happened, so I'd like to see him not run.
If he did, I would vote for him, but I would not recommend he runs. I voted for Trump both times, and I love him. I think he was a good candidate, but I think his time has passed.
I couldn't care less about President Trump personally. I prefer somebody different, but if he is the nominee, I'll probably vote for him.
You know what? I voted for him for my very first time I voted for him. I don't think it'll be best for our country for him to run for re-election. I'm thankful for everything that he's done, but I think that our Republican Party needs to be united.
At this point, he's a little too polarizing, and I think that there are candidates out there, Republican candidates obviously, that maybe be able to pull in people that he would lose to be able to change this.
I would like to see, Governor DeSantis or someone like that, some new blood in the race.
DeSantis run for president, and if he wants to, then he can pick up Donald as the vice president.
We're from Florida. We're big fans of DeSantis on this one. He seems to be much more common sense and able to communicate better to both sides to get those people back that.
So remember, they could have picked anybody. They could interview, they're only including a few people in this. They could have interviewed 50 or 60 or 70 people and gotten whatever they wanted. Everybody saying Trump should run, or not everybody saying DeSantis should. They have chosen these people to create this story.
The switch.
He's done a good job at everything he's tried to do, despite all, it's not all just what he says. It doesn't just happen like that. I believe he's done a good job with a lot of things, and that's just my personal beliefs.
I really like DeSantis.
All right, so you get it. Fox is in total control of this story. They could make it say anything. They could turn it into a campaign ad for Trump if they wanted it. They are looking towards the future. They seem to think the future is not Trump. And the long-term viability of Fox News as a business enterprise depends on it being sort of like the state media arm of some Republican authoritarian regime. And so this is self-interest at work. I want people to understand that it's not about they like Trump's foreign policy or they don't like it or whatever. The idea here is they want to get someone other than Trump in. If Trump ends up winning the nomination, of course, they will still back him. But right now they're saying, we think we will be better off with the old version of Fox, where we just all get behind a more popular authoritarian right-wing regime rather than someone who's as polarizing. And so they've crafted this narrative. Everybody seems to want DeSantis. We will see how the primary shakes out if and when people announce. Neither Trump nor DeSantis have yet announced, but this is probably part of why Trump would rather make the announcement sooner than later that he's running. And it will be to his advantage in order to push people to have to take more of a risk to not support him. Right now, with no one declared, it's easier for Fox to run these pieces. Hey, look, it just sort of seems like the public wants someone else, and that someone else happens to be Ron DeSantis. If Trump announces, it puts them in a much more difficult position to keep running anti-Trump, pro-DeSantis pieces. So that's to Trump's interest then to announce sooner. Every indication is that he's going to do that.